like I was just here a couple minutes ago. But on to New England. We can as many football questions as you guys want to ask. I'm ready to answer them. All the other stuff, I'll answer those as well.
When you look at New England, they've been really good at stopping the run the last couple of years. That showed up week 1. Is that more about the scheme, or is it the emphasis that they placed on it, do you think?
I think it's that. I think it's both. I think it's the players that they have. Very, very well coached, obviously, but they play tough. They have good players. They play hard. All the fundamentals just go right down the list. Check, check, check. Play square, get off blocks. What it takes to play really good run defense. Numbers back it up. Tape backs it up. So we got a great challenge ahead of us.
Coach, works out the last 2 Super Bowl opponents are the first 2 opponents this year for the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's right.
What's your memory of those 2 Super Bowls?
Oh, man. When we won, I was in L.A. with my sister and my nephew, and that was pretty awesome. When we lost, I don't remember. But that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that played out like that.
Mike, you obviously have ties that you're from that area. I know you moved when you were a kid, but what do you remember just from being a sports fan in New England?
Yeah, I moved in '94, so that was before they went to the Super Bowl. I think in '96. My first kind of football memory is really my dad took me to the old Foxborough when Drew got drafted. And we got like a tour of the stadium and stuff, and that was pretty cool. But it's a long time ago.
Mike, in playing good run defense without giving all the inside stuff, how important is it obviously to set the edge and get that front push up there? And
it's the name of the game. Then you just got to get the guy on the ground. Again, people have different philosophies on how you play the run. I think our philosophy and New England's philosophy is pretty similar about trying to build a wall, having knockback, staying square, having edges. Some people kind of opt for hey, let's destroy the line on the way to the QB, so to speak, and then let the second level and third level kind of clean it up. It's good. There's a lot of good run defenses that do that. Our philosophies are kind of on that other end of the spectrum.
At the end of the day, how important is the run defense to tackle? You talked a little bit about last game that did clean up a little bit of that.
Sure.
So how much is that going into?
Well, it's about space and angles. So you have to understand the angle that you need to take, especially with the runners that New England has, and it's about getting multiple hats to the party because they're big physical backs that fall forward. And there's a huge difference between making contact, a yard or 2 past the line of scrimmage and falling forward for 4 versus making contact there. And now there's multiple guys at the party. And New England does a good job of kind of getting a hat for the hat. So there's a lot of one-on-one matchups that are going to be happening that we're going to have to win in order to have success.
Mike, what was yesterday like? Sort of first time after a regular season game, bringing the guys in, kind of going through the sort of first process of breaking down the film and looking at what happened?
I thought it was a great day. The first part of the day is about you're coming in with a fresh mind. You had a day off. The emotions kind of going down, which is nice. It's a little bit more of a surgical approach. Kind of debrief on the game, and then we take a break, and then we flip the page, and when we move forward to the next opponent. So we focused on New England the latter part of those meetings, and then coaches were back to going to work, and onward we go.
What did you think of the game DK had and kind of the way they messed up with him with Surtain?
I thought DK did a lot of great things. I mean, there was an opportunity for him to have make a play down the field, but found the ball later in the game. Like I mentioned to you, there's a lot of little things that he does that creates success for the rest of the team, and that's big. So he needs to keep doing those things, and obviously we got to try to get the ball to him earlier in the game to get him involved and get him rocking and rolling. And I'm confident we'll do that. But I thought DK played a really good game.
Coach, New England ran inside zone more than any team in the NFL last week. Ramondre Stevenson had almost all his yards after contact.
Yeah.
What kind of challenges do they present running right at you?
Well, like I said, there's a hat for a hat, and it's kind of no fair dodging, straight downhill. They have more schemes than just the duo play and things like that. I think some of the front structures that Cincinnati was giving them and the success they had with that play probably lent to more frequency and led to that. So it's good job by them. But yeah, I mean they're a sound football team. Everybody knows they're all on the same page. Just like they are on defense, they're square at the point of attack. They're coming right at you. So there's not a lot of secrets to what they're doing, but it's very well designed. It's just it's good football.
Keion White showed up in the stats for New England. How did he show up on tape?
Well, Keion's a really good player. I mean, he can play inside and out. Just kind of fits the mold of someone that's been in that defense for a long time. He can play inside shade, outside shade, inside rush, outside rush. Plays very hard. He's a big guy, so they move him around to kind of fit where they want him to fit within all the schemes. So yeah, it's just one of many good players on their side.
You mentioned on Sunday, Reek made that play at the end of the game after not getting a lot of action his way during the game. What's the challenge for a corner when a team's not throwing your way to kind of stay in the game throughout?
I've never had that feeling, so I can't speak for it's mental toughness. I felt like he was involved throughout the whole game. Like you felt Reek throughout the whole game. It didn't feel like he wasn't like some lone soldier out there just kind of hanging out. Like you felt him in the run game, felt him getting to the ball in the zones, and he was active, with the guys that he was asked to guard. So I thought he did a great job.
Any updates on George Fant, Ken Walker, and Uchenna Nwosu?
Yeah, we're gonna see how those guys play out. Chenna will be out this week, but the rest of the guys coming off the last game, we'll kind of take it day by day here with the reports and everything. But yeah, Chenna will be out.
Will they practice today, Walker and Fant?
We'll see.
You mentioned that there's some similarities in how you want to play defense and how the Patriots play defense. What do you like about, I don't know if you would call it a chess match or just like an all-out matchup against a great defensive scheme?
Yeah, I like the players are out there playing, and they have really good players with sound, good fundamental schemes and change-ups. I know we have really good players and with what I believe are sound schemes and change-ups. So, we're going to have to see how each team's trying to attack each other throughout the game. And, this is going to be a four-quarter old-school football game. Like, it's going to come down to who makes the plays at the end. That was the message to the team today, and it's going to be a great game.
Coach, Bill Belichick's not with the Patriots anymore, but he's obviously had a ton of success on the defense side of the ball. What have you picked up studying him over the years?
Man, I mean, the record speaks for itself. I mean, he's probably the best coach to ever do it. Someone that I've watched, coming up through my coaching career. So I don't know how you can have any more respect for a coach. I'd say it's like the first thing I'm thinking about is like toughness and preparation. Just a thorough understanding of the game and how to put your players in position to succeed, how to stay ahead situationally, how to win football games without, giving anything up cheap. In a way, just like along with some of the other great, football coaches of our generation and generations past, kind of molding the game and, evolving it over the course of his career. So, his fingerprints are all over this team still. And I know Coach Mayo has a ton of respect for him, and he worked for him for a long time, played under him and all that. So, it's a New England Patriot football team that you're used to seeing.
Have you crossed paths with Mayo much over your career?
No, I just met him at owners' meetings the one time, and that was it.
You and him are two of the three youngest coaches in the league this year. Do you have any thought about why maybe younger coaches are getting more opportunities to be head coaches sort of in this era of the league?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't really want to speculate on it. But I think Coach Mayo and I would agree that this game is not about us. It's not. It's about our guys going out and playing and making the plays that are going to take to win the game. It's really our age really has nothing to do with what's about to happen on Sunday.
Mike, when you got here traveling in from west to east coast,
Yeah.
are you just inheriting what the team has done, or did you study the bio?
Well, we've had a lot of success going east, and there's been some research into it too. So a lot of it actually is relation to sleep, believe it or not. So we talked about team today. We had sleep specialists come in, trying to really be thorough in that approach. But a lot of it's with what we've done here over the past. We've built off of that.
And in general, it's keep them on their schedule as if they were still on the West Coast time.
Yeah, like keeping West Coast time. We're going to go out on Friday. And some other things going on too. But yeah, the main gist of it's going to stay the same.
Mike, what's been the messaging from week 1 to week 2, that improvement? I mean, I know the players want to improve too.
Yeah,
but what's
sure.
the coaching as that message?
Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time kind of changing up themes and stuff. So the stuff I've told you guys is what I've told the team. A lot of great things happened in the first game, which is great to see. Like talking about effort and composure, all those things. But you have to build on those things and take the next step. You could rattle out moving on to the next week, but there's a lot of things we need to clean up that we can build off of. I mean, it's 1 week, it's a great win, but now it's time to turn the page. We got to focus on our preparation. I think our weekly practices can take a step up, and really, I mean, that's the only thing we can focus on today is just having a great Wednesday, so that we can have a great. You can't have a great Thursday until you have a great Wednesday. So that's kind of the thought right now.
Mike, what was your thought on A.J. Barner and the way he kind of played jumping in there with Farrell out last week? And
Yeah.
a quick update on Farrell, too.
Yeah, I thought A.J. played really well. Can do a lot of things at tight end for us and move around. Excited to see his growth moving forward. And, Farrell, I know with the connection to New England stuff, he really wants to play. So, we'll see with where Farrell ends up by the end of the week.
You guys signed Jed Hall last week as a third quarterback. Have you gotten much of a sense of what you might have with him and kind of where he fits in?
Well, he's someone that I think that has a little bit of history with, we've done a lot of homework on him as he was coming out before I was hired. So, we respect him as a player. I've never had a defense go against him, so I'm not like a foremost expert on his game. But he's come in, he's done a great job. He's got a great attitude. He's learning the scheme. A little bit, the vocabulary is a little different than he's used to, so there's a little bit of learning curve there, but he'll pick it up in a hurry.
Back to the topic of schedules. What do you like about structuring your week so that the players' off day is Monday as opposed to Tuesday?
I'd say the main thing is to really just be able to take a deep breath after the game and then be able to move on. That's the main thing. Take the emotion out of it, be able to kind of digest, understand why you won or lost, where you need to improve. The guys get it the next day, and then you're able, once they come in, you're kind of in next week's mode. There's no like break. It's, hey, this is what happened. Let's move on. Okay, now it's like an extended week on that next opponent.
What do you like about the packages that have Keion in there with Julian and Rayshawn?
Well, it's an opportunity to get a really good player on the field in Keion. Opportunity to get Jenks closer to the ball. We'll be moving. I don't think you're going to just see that combination all the time with those guys, but for that specific game, we felt like it gave us a good chance to get Keion on the field, get Spoon some reps at corner. But Keivon's earned the opportunity to have reps. He's had a great camp, and that was really the thought behind it.
And you hadn't seen Draymond Jones much, I guess, in training camp. How did you feel like he played Sunday? What do you have for you guys?
Draymond, he had a solid start. There's so much more that he can do, and he knows that. I mean, but it's all positive. It's just let's keep ramping him up. I mean, we went in with a little bit of a tighter game plan with him than we probably would, come week 10 or so. So the goal right now is to keep finding those things that he does really well, get him doing those things more, and we'll build it here over the next, several weeks.
Jacoby Brissett's been around the AFC for a while. What have you seen when you've gone against him?
Yeah, Jacoby's he's a really good quarterback. I mean, this guy's he's highly intelligent. He's underratedly mobile. I mean, if you let him run, he can move going forward. I think he delivers an accurate ball. He plays efficiently. He definitely has a very, very strong grasp of what they're asking him in terms of executing their system. So they're playing clean football right now, and doesn't look, like the new age, like sexy offenses of, that you're seeing these days. But I'll tell you what, it's really, really effective, and it comes down to how you move the football, and they're doing that effectively right now.
Anything else? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.